There is a precise strain of contempt the establishment reserves for the self-taught. It is not mere disdain. It is not casual annoyance. And despite the soothing lies they whisper, it is absolutely not pity. It is raw, primal fear. When you enter the chamber without their expensive stamp of approval, without the pedigree they mortgaged their future for, and yet you still eclipse their performance, you do more than threaten their salary. You threaten the core of their gilded reality. You are the living, breathing proof that their gatekeepers are irrelevant. You are evidence that the years spent in line, meticulously following their syllabus and begging for permission were, in fact, a tragic waste. To the elite, the self-taught person is not just an outsider, they are a glitch in the simulation, a wolf in a sterile, padded laboratory. They despise you because they cannot control you. The credentialed employee is a dog on a leash, bound by debt, reputation, and a threatened piece of paper. But the one who forged their own mind, fueled by obsession and hunger, holds no leash. She has no master. And nothing paralyzes a master like the realization that the servant never needed the house in the first place. If you have ever felt that cold, silent judgment from the credentialed class, or the gnawing imposter syndrome telling you that you don't belong, stop. You've been misreading the battlefield. They are not judging you because you are less than them. They are judging you because you are dangerous to them. We must strip away the noise. The entire fragile modern system is constructed upon a single psychological pillar: permission. From the age of 5, the system trains you in one supreme skill: not critical thinking, not creativity, but compliance. Raise your hand to speak. Ask for a hall pass to move. Memorize this specific fact to receive the gold star. The hidden curriculum of every institution is hierarchy. They are not teaching you how to think. They are teaching you how to be a dependable, controllable employee. The elite love this matrix. They engineered it. It guarantees that by the time you reach adulthood, your first instinct is to locate a gatekeeper before you make a move. You want to start a business? You seek a license. You want to master a skill? You search for a certified course. You want to be an expert? You look for a university. You are looking for permission. The self-taught individual commits the ultimate unforgivable sin. He grants permission to himself. He stares down a complex subject, coding, finance, engineering, and instead of asking, "Who can teach me?" he declares, "I will take this." He hunts the knowledge down. He claims it. He does not wait for it to be bestowed upon him like a sacred gift. This psychological separation defines the wolf from the dog. The dog waits to be fed. The wolf hunts. And the people entrenched in power, the managers, the academics, the bureaucrats, are terrified of the wolf because a wolf cannot be silenced with a bad performance review. A wolf cannot be shamed by a piece of paper. When you teach yourself, you are declaring independence from their system of validation. You are screaming, "I am enough." And in a world that profits from your insecurity, that declaration is an act of war. To truly grasp their hatred, you must understand their pain. Imagine the man who spent 4 years and $200,000 to purchase a map. He studies it, frames the receipt, and builds his entire identity around owning this official, expensive map. Then you arrive. You did not buy the map. You simply walked the terrain. You have mud on your boots and dirty hands. You don't know the official names, but you know precisely where the quicksand is. You know the shortcuts that are not on his map. When you solve a problem in 5 minutes that takes him 5 days, he doesn't admire you. He hates you. Your sheer existence proves his map was a scam. This is the sunk cost fallacy weaponized. The elite have invested their fortunes and their egos into the narrative that credentials equal competence. They must believe the degree is necessary, because if it isn't, they are merely people who paid a fortune to stand in a slow-moving line. You are the mirror they refuse to look into. When a self-taught entrepreneur obliterates an MBA's project, it triggers an existential crisis in the credentialed mind. It whispers that they are fragile, that they are sheltered, that they are paper tigers, so they protect themselves with carefully crafted narratives. They call you undisciplined. They call you a cowboy. They claim you lack the fundamentals. They ask, "But where did you study?" with that condescending tilt of the head. Recognize this maneuver. It is a defense mechanism. It is the whimper of a dying system desperate to convince itself it still matters. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this dark truth centuries ago. He spoke of the difference between mercenaries and your own arms. He argued that mercenaries, knowledge borrowed from an institution, cannot be trusted. They fight for a paycheck. But knowledge you forge yourself, that is your own arms. You learned that coding language at 3 a.m. because you needed to build something. You learned the law because you were being sued. This knowledge is burned into your neural pathways, connected to survival and pain. Machiavelli would tell you the self-taught man possesses virtù, not moral virtue, but prowess, effectiveness, the savage ability to impose one's will on fortune. The elite possess fortuna, luck, inheritance, established position, and virtù will always threaten fortuna. The elite hate you because your competence is adaptable. Since you mastered the art of learning, you can change. If your industry vanishes tomorrow, you will be on the internet the next day, mastering the new thing. You are fluid. They are rigid. They are specialists in a world changing too fast for specialization. If the rules change, they are obsolete. If the rules change, you are just getting started. Let us analyze the structure of power. Every established industry is a castle. The elite are the royalty within. The credentialing bodies, the universities, the certification boards, are the moat. The moat is not there to keep the unqualified out. The moat is there to keep the supply of experts artificially low, so the price of their labor remains high. This is artificial scarcity. When you bypass that moat, when you build a bridge, swim across, or tunnel under, you are instantly devaluing their currency. Think of the bar association, the academic tenure track. These are cartels. They exist primarily to protect their members, not the public. And yes, while we concede that self-taught brain surgeons are a poor idea, 90% of modern roles, tech, finance, marketing, are driven by results, not rituals. Yet the gatekeepers stand there, clipboards in hand, demanding to see your papers. Why? Because if they permit entry based on merit alone, they lose their power to select. A gatekeeper who cannot keep people out is nothing more than a doorman, and nobody fears the doorman. The self-taught individual renders the gatekeeper irrelevant. You don't knock on their door, you build your own superior building next door. You use the internet, the great equalizer, to go directly to the market. You bypass the publisher, the firm, the hiring manager. This is the offense they cannot forgive. You are stripping them of their perceived necessity. You are showing the world that the king is just a man in a costume. You must internalize the concept of the shadow resume. The elite flaunt the paper resume, Harvard, Yale, McKinsey. Bright, shiny detailing where they've been sitting for a decade. You possess the shadow resume. Your shadow resume is not where you studied. It is what you have endured. It lists the projects you constructed from scratch, the failures that nearly broke you, the books you devoured because you were ravenous, not because they were required reading. The paper resume signals compliance. The shadow resume signals capacity. In a crisis, the paper resume is useless. When the market collapses, when the supply chain fractures, theory offers no salvation. The elite panic. They search for the procedure manual. But there is no manual for chaos. This is your territory. The self-taught are natives of chaos. You forged your mind in the wild. You are accustomed to not knowing the answer and finding it anyway. Machiavelli would say it is better to be impetuous than cautious. The elite are cautious. They have too much to lose. You, on the other hand, are impetuous. You are willing to wrestle with reality until it yields what you demand. Here is the vital danger, the failure point for most outliers. They spend their lives trying to get the elite to like them. You know this feeling. You get into the room, you get the meeting, and suddenly you feel small. You start using their buzzwords. You apologize for your background. You think, maybe if I just get this one certificate, they will respect me. Stop. You are attempting to teach a lion to bark at a dog show. You will never win their validation, and you absolutely should not want it. The moment you seek their approval, you surrender your power. You step into their frame, and in their frame, you will always be deficient. They will always find a rule you broke. They will find some obscure, irrelevant theory from 1970 and use it to shame you. Oh, you haven't read Foucault? You're unfamiliar with the Keynesian cross? They use jargon as a weapon to maintain their distance. Do not debate them. Do not try to prove you are smart. Be the outcome. The only force that silences a credentialed intellectual is a raw, undeniable result. While they are debating the theory of leverage, you are already leveraging the asset. While they discuss the ethics of AI, you are building the bot that automates their job. Be savage in your results. Let your work be so powerful that their precious credentials look like mere paper decorations. We must address the cost. This path is one of suffering. The elite have a community, alumni networks, fraternities, support groups that constantly affirm they are special. The self-taught are alone. This specific loneliness, forging your own mind in isolation, is the test. You will hit a plateau where you feel like a fraud. This is the desert you must cross. The elite were carried across. You are walking, and your legs are growing stronger with every step. This isolation is necessary. It forces an internal locus of control. You stop seeking external answers and learn to trust your own intuition, the most expensive, untrainable asset in the world. We are shifting eras. The old world was ruled by the aristocracy of blood, then the aristocracy of paper, the degree. We are entering the aristocracy of competence. The internet has destroyed the monopoly on knowledge. The elite know this, and it petrifies them. They cling to the prestige of their institutions like a drowning man clutching a gold bar. It is heavy, and it is dragging them down. Information is free. Execution is expensive. The self-taught are masters of execution. You didn't learn for the sake of learning. You learned for the sake of doing. This makes you the new nobility. You must claim it. Stop apologizing for your path. I taught myself should not be a confession. It should be a boast. Here are your rules of engagement for navigating their world. Don't reveal your source immediately. When you deliver the solution, do so with total confidence. Let them assume you learned it in a hallowed hall. Let their own bias work in your favor. Cultivate an air of absolute mystery. Speak their language, but act in yours. Learn the jargon, not to respect it, but to infiltrate it. You need the shibboleths, the secret passwords, to get past the gate. Once inside, drop the mask and operate with your savage efficiency. Find the other outliers. The elite hire the elite, but the ambitious hire the competent. Seek out the leaders who are results-obsessed. They are your tribe. Never stop hunting. Your speed is your only shield. You must stay on the bleeding edge, adopting the new tool, the new psychology, faster than their rigid system can react. Weaponize your incompetence. Because you weren't trained properly, you don't know what is impossible. The elite were taught boundaries. You attempt things they deem foolish, and because you don't know they are impossible, you sometimes achieve them. Guard this beginner's mind. Shoshin. Why endure this pain? Because the self-taught person is the only truly free man. If your status originates from an institution, they own you. They can revoke your license. They can strip your title. But if your status comes from your raw ability to interact with reality and produce results, no one can take that away. The world is growing more chaotic. In stable times, the obedient inherit the earth. In chaotic times, the adaptable inherit the earth. You have spent your life feeling like you were on the wrong path. You weren't. You were training for this exact moment. The resilience you forged in isolation, the ability to figure things out without a manual, these traits will save you when the manual burns. You are not the underdog. You are the predator the zoo animals forgot existed. Stop asking for a seat at their table. Flip the table and build your own.